Hello, Sarasota moms and dads, Southwest Florida moms and dads. In recent decades, there has been a notable rise in conditions such as ADHD, anxiety, asthma, allergies, all amongst children too, and of course with adults as well. But while genetics and lifestyle choices are contributing factors, of course, clinical research increasingly points towards the central nervous system as a significant underlying cause. And so today what I really want to break down, and what we want to break down to every patient at Pinnacle, is why is the central nervous system the big cause to these other conditions. And if you're someone that's feeling dismissed and stuck in this endless cycle of medications, diet changes, and then therapies, hoping to address your child's chronic symptoms, then keep watching, because this video is for you. So let's dive into how optimizing specifically the vagus nerve function can be a game changer you've really been searching for the whole time. So discover, and what we're going to do is also discover the best way to stimulate this essential part of the nervous system, the vagus nerve, through neurologically gentle, neurologically focused chiropractic care in order to address the vagus nerve dysfunction without drugs and without surgery. So first I want to start with a story, and this story is about a little girl named Anna. And at 7 years old, Anna was completely stuck in this storm of stress. We often call it a perfect storm here at Pinnacle Chiropractic. And what I mean by that is she's constantly getting sick, having seizures. She had colds, and then exercise-induced asthma, and then also lack of body control, proprioception we call that, and then poor social and emotional regulation, and then she also had sleep challenges. So extreme stress and frustration for any parent who really dreams for a healthy life for their kiddos, but is trying to navigate the health world to find the best answers to help their child's struggles. Now, mom and dad of Anna said, we just wanted to find a route that was more natural, that didn't include medications. And everyone was pushing meds on them, they felt, but they weren't working for Anna. And it was such a guessing game. That's what they felt like whenever they went to more of that typical Western model of medicine. And after Anna's parents finally, after feeling exhausted and trying different options, a holistic doctor finally recommended Pinnacle Chiropractic. And their biggest goal for Anna was coming into care was to increase her immunity and for more resilience to Anna's environment. And our whole team here found that it was really Anna's vagus nerve that was the real root cause of all these chronic health issues and all this dysfunction going on in Anna's life. And so what does that exactly mean? Now, when we're specifically talking about anyone, not just Anna, and it all boils down to what is the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve, and if you've seen our page before, you can go ahead and we talk about the vagus nerve all the time because it is a massive nerve, and it's actually nicknamed the wandering nerve. And Vegas, just like Viva Las Vegas, it is it is big. It travels from the brain all the way down to the GI, and it is the longest cranial nerve in the body. It originates in your brainstem, so the upper part of your neck, really at the base of the skull, and then it travels through the neck, down through the chest, into the abdomen, and then it connects the brain to almost every, if not every, vital organ, like your heart, your lungs, and then your digestive system. And the vagus nerve, which serves as the primary parasympathetic nerve, is responsible for regulating these essential functions like digestion, breathing, inflammation, and it's often susceptible to disruption. So it is the main parasympathetic nerve. And parasympathetic, what do I mean by that? That means resting and restoring. So we're talking about Anna, who had a lot of these problems, but also sleep was compromised, and the vagus nerve is a big player in that sleep function as well. So a lot of times these symptoms of vagus nerve dysfunction are really boiled down to digestive problems, so constipation, bloating, reflux in babies, respiratory issues such as asthma, chronic cough, and then immune dysregulation, so allergies, autoimmune disorders, skin conditions even. And then we also have mood imbalances, so anxiety, depression, mood dysregulation, even with littler kiddos, even though they're learning these things, and learning these emotions, if we're able to have that vagus nerve better regulated, overall, they're going to have a better time connecting to that emotion and calming their overall reactions down. So another big thing is sensory processing. Loud noises, certain touches, things like that can be a sign of vagus nerve dysfunction. And so really let's take it a step further back. What is the real root cause of vagus nerve dysfunction? And this disruption can stem from various sources. So a lot of times what we see here is prenatal distress. That's kind of the first little indicator. And then it goes on to birth trauma. So birth trauma, infections, it can also be another one, exposure to toxins, and then emotional stress. So when these stressors all converge, they create what we call here the perfect storm, like I mentioned earlier. And it potentially leads to dysfunction with the vagus nerve ultimately. Initially, when we see these things, especially with the vagus nerve, it can be subtle because these small things add up over time. But then if left unaddressed, then that's when we see that start to escalate. And then it escalates into more severe developmental, behavioral, and gastrointestinal disorders over time. So time is a big factor of it too. So the earlier we can address this in life, that's why we love seeing babies. We love seeing kiddos, because we can help prevent this vagus nerve dysfunction to becoming ultimately heightened sympathetic overload for years becomes depression, and then or at the point where they do have a lot of ADHD, things like that too. So the whole ultimate goal is making sure their nervous system is regulated as possible so that vagus nerve can do what it needs to do. And even if they have some of these issues, they're way more tame, for lack of better words. So where does neurologically focused chiropractic care come into this? And what can parents do to support and restore vagus nerve dysfunction? So techniques like deep breathing exercises, cold water exposure, singing, humming, things like that can really help stimulate the vagus nerve. But none of them do the job or will really work unless we're really addressing that underlying issue of dysfunction first and foremost. And what I mean is that tension and that previous maybe birth trauma, things like that. If we're not addressing that, you can hum until the cows come home, but and it will still help vagus nerve function, but it's not going to have the same profound effect if we don't fix the underlying cause, which is what we're going to do here at Pinnacle Chiropractic when you come in. And that's where neurologically focused chiropractic comes into play, because by utilizing our diagnostic tools here, which is state-of-the-art neurological insight scans, and specifically with the vagus nerve, we're looking at HRV, so heart rate variability. Our team here, myself, Dr. Kirsten, Dr. Jordan, Dr. Matt, all of us can really accurately assess how is vagal tone in this person, and then we pinpoint certain areas in interference with that. And then through a targeted care plan with gentle, specific adjustments to the neurospinal system, we can then help restore proper nerve communication and then autonomic balance with the nervous system. So autonomic nervous system, break it down real quick, comprised of the sympathetic nervous system, your gas pedal, and then the parasympathetic, which we've been talking a lot about. So we want balance between those two. Really pull in one direction or the other too much is a bad thing. So we want good balance between rest and restore, and then sympathetic. You need both to be a healthy human, but one more the other, and typically in our world we see it sympathetic dominance is going to create more chronic health issues. So just hear me out, because parents, I know that you live in a world where you're disempowered, but you don't have to feel powerless when it comes to your child's health challenges. We see it every day, your parents getting empowered, children getting empowered, and by understanding the critical role that the vagus nerve plays on all this and seeking out specialized care, you can give your little ones the best chance of thriving, and really, in the end, give your family the best chance of thriving by addressing neurological issues. And at Pinnacle Chiropractic, all of us here are dedicated to children, just like Anna, just like anyone that comes through here dealing with vagus nerve dysfunction. And we do use state-of-the-art diagnostic tools and gentle, non-invasive techniques to help support the vagus nerve at the end of the day. And really, at the end of the day, we want that function to be optimal and then to restore balance to the nervous system like I was talking about. And big goal being we want our children to be the most resilient beings that they can be adaptable, be able to conquer stress, because the world is full of stressors, and we're not going to more than likely reduce all these stressors, but what we can do is make sure that still try to reduce them, but we can be more adaptable when it comes to our nervous system. And if you're ready to take the next step towards getting to the root cause of your child's dysfunction, your chronic health issues, any challenges, go ahead and DM us. Check our link in the bio and learn more about the vagus nerve and vagus nerve dysfunction. And you can learn more about our neurological insight scans as well too, and learn exactly how we can help. We can't wait to help you. This is what our passion is here, is helping kiddos and families, because we know when your kiddos are struggling, you're struggling, and we want everyone to be able to experience how a neurologically balanced household looks. So peace and love. Dr. JJ out. Go ahead and DM us if you want more information. Share this video with anyone you think that it would help. And until then, peace and love.